In for Inherent But Hackers, I'm Dio. It's 9 minutes gone past 3 p.m. It's a fine Wednesday. It's the midweek edition of the show. And as usual, from now till about 7, we keep the conversation going. Several matters we're going to be discussing on the show today. You're welcome to be part of it. And I hope that today's been a good day for you. Considering, in spite of everything, I do very much hope that things are looking up. You're welcome to the show once again. Well, pretty much the same format as has been the case for some time right now. I do have side comments coming up in a moment. Random stories, random thoughts. I'll be expressing those thoughts, which, once again, are not up for discussion at this time, but much later on during the open season segment, I'll take those. I'll explain what that is in a moment. After today's side comments, I've got rounds coming up. Something in my mind on some major issue, and I'll be expressing thoughts on that one matter. Now, that one, you're welcome to express your thoughts and mine all the way till 4 p.m. via the usual platforms. Before we've got the business news coming up, absolutely. And after that, it's another Wednesday, and it has been the practice for about 4 years. We're talking the growth, progress, and development of the Niger Delta region on the program brought to you by SPDC, Canvas the Niger Delta Roundtable. Yep, another edition today. And the topic, education, celebrating excellence in Shell University scholarship programs. I'll be having some guests with me on the show today, beneficiaries of Shell's university scholarship programs, or university scholarships, in the 4 o'clock hour. Talk about that. Taking us to 5, more news coming your way, the updates at 5 p.m. And after that, we'll move on to some other issue. Press censorship bills in a coma. Oh, well, maybe been suspended. Not dead, definitely. We'll be looking at that story. Nigeria media unite against Buhari government's quest to censor press. That story is in the Premium Times. You can check it out. I'm sure there are other versions, or there are similar versions in other dailies also. But maybe a pick at the version as published by Premium Times. Once again, stories captioned, Nigerian media unite against Buhari's government's quest to censor press. The front banners of major newspapers in Nigeria on Monday bore a picture of an individual with a sealed mouth. Information blackout read the caption that ran with the picture. It's not just against the media, it's about society's right to know, your right to be heard. Now, the message is a joint release from the Nigeria Union of Journalists, NUJ, Nigerian Guild of Editors, NGE, and Newspaper Proprietors Association of Nigeria, NPAN. It's expected to be the crayon of television stations, the jingles on radio stations, and lead graphics and online media, and it's a pushback by media organizations in the country against the Buhari government's brazen attempts to regulate social media and censor the press through controversial media bills at the National Assembly. The said controversial bills are the Nigerian Broadcasting Commission, NBC, and the Nigerian Press Council, NPC Act Amendment Bills. Yeah. Well, the former sought lawmakers' cooperation to include all online media among the media organizations the government seeks to be able to censor. While the latter gives the president the right to appoint the chairman of the board of the Nigerian Press Council, it also empowers the president to appoint all other members of the board upon the recommendation of the information minister. Well, the bill has been suspended for now. I think that the sponsor of that bill did explain that. I saw a story on that quite recently. I think I saw that, maybe was it sometime yesterday or earlier today, I do believe. Just a moment. It's here somewhere, I'm certain. Is this it? I think this is it. Well, story also cut to Premium Times. Again, Nigerian media stand in solidarity against government's censorship moves. Another round of media solidarity, this time as editorials in major dailies in Nigeria have followed Monday's widely circulated advertorial calling on government to shut down 2 controversial media bills at the National Assembly. Oh, no, I'll come to that later on. But I think the bill has been stepped down for now. The sponsor did say they were going to speak with stakeholders and do some more consultations or something of that nature. Well, we'll discuss that matter in detail in the 5 o'clock hour. I'm sure I've got the story somewhere. In the 5 o'clock hour, we'll take a look at that. And I'll be having Olalekon Ige with me in the studio. He's editor with the Independent Monitor. He'll join me for that conversation. The federal government says they're simply trying to regulate the industry and ensure the smooth running of the media space in the country, whilst, of course, a lot of Nigerians, and especially professionals in the field, believe it's simply another attempt by government to censor the media. Is media regulation akin to censorship? We'll look at that in the 5 o'clock hour after the news update with Lekon Ige. Headlines 5:30, major news at 6 p.m. And after that open season, if you miss out on calling in on the show to express your thoughts or opinions on any of the matters discussed, I will take those opinions via the phone lines after the major news at 6 till about 7 o'clock, or the other platforms as well. So that's the show today. Do stick around. By 7, it comes to an end. The sports gang will be in for extra time. So we'll keep the ball rolling now with today's side comments. A reminder, random stories and random sorts that I came across today, which are not up for discussion at this time. Well, National Chairman of PDP, Uche Secondas, says he will not join issues with Governor Nyesom Wike after he was labelled a liar. As you may know, Governor Wike at the 60th birthday celebration of ex-Cross River State Governor Leah Limoke came hard on Secondas, blaming him for the troubles in the PDP. The governor specifically said that Secondas could not be trusted, accusing him of saying one thing and doing the opposite. But Secondas, in a statement, said he's not a liar and no amount of provocation will make him join issues with any leader of the party. He said he considers negative outbursts against him as one of the punches a leader must receive and endure to get stronger. I think it was a couple of days ago, maybe last week or so, I was talking about the PDP in Rivers State here and at the national level. It seems all is not well. I think that's one way to put it. It seems all is not well. And it will be, for me, it will be extremely interesting to see what plays out in the PDP as what I consider to be the inevitable drama that's going to play out in the PDP as 2023 draws nearer. I think there's going to be a lot of drama in the PDP in Rivers State here, especially, possibly at the center as well. There'll be some drama, but I expect a lot of drama with the PDP in Rivers. Not sure if it's going to be as big as what played out in the APC, such that the APC couldn't even present a candidate in the last general elections. But there will be something. I perceive. But time will tell. Time tells everything, doesn't it? And as the Rivers State University holds its 39th matriculation ceremony, the Vice Chancellor of the institution, Professor Nlerum Okogbole, has declared Thursday and Friday as lecture-free days for students. While welcoming new students into the school, Professor Okogbole said the lecture-free days will enable students conclude their registration. He said students with good grades will receive scholarships from the school. Our correspondent reports that over 37,000 students were admitted into the institution this year. Congratulations to all the freshers at the Rivers State University. You are one of the very few, maybe even lucky, chosen ones out of the several 100,000 students who sat for the is it UTME? Yep, who applied to various tertiary institutions across the country. You're the very lucky few, by the way, because very few of you guys got admissions, no doubt. Congratulations. I do wish you the very best. I hope that you will commit yourself to your education commitments and requirements. I hope that you will have some fun as well, but responsibly, definitely. I hope that you will not allow peer pressure to draw you in the wrong direction. Definitely shun cultism. It will do you absolutely no good at all. I wish you the very best. I hope that, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 years from now, 6, 7 years, depends on the program, you will be a very proud person, and you would have made your family and friends proud as well, and be well on your way to changing the world. Absolutely. Now, whilst I wish the students, the freshers, the very best, to our dons at the River State University, to our Mr. Lecturers over there. They have come. They are not your ATMs. They are not supposed to be buying handouts from you by force, or else they will not pass. No, they are not supposed to be coming to your office to come and see you at 8 p.m. or organize special classes in a hotel room. That's not why their parents send them there, Mr. Lecturer. Their parents do not send them there to come and meet in hotel rooms. Also, their parents didn't budget when they were budgeting money for school. They didn't budget money they were using sorting you. So those who perform well, let them pass, and those who do not perform well, I'm sure there are consequences for that. Sorting you is not for C or for A or for B, is not part of the plans of the parents or their guardians, and shouldn't be the plans of anyone for that matter. And to the Vice Chancellor, Professor Elerum Okogbule, you're responsible for the students. Watch after them, look after them, protect them from the heinous bad eggs amongst your Mr. Lecturers who are waiting to pounce on them like tigers and lions, who are right now excited. If you guys have a staff club, I don't know if they have a staff club at River State University. If you guys have a staff club, they're probably sitting there right now, hitting bottles against each other, congratulating each other on the fresh prey that has been admitted into the school, and telling themselves how many they're going to commandeer to each other. So protect them, and all of those erring lecturers, deal with them appropriately, get them out of the system, so that we can be proud of the work that you guys do over there, and in anticipation that when the students are done with their programs, they will indeed have been found worthy in character and in learning. All right. Let's see, what else caught my attention today on the news? Oh yes. Oh, by the way, for all of you Nigerians out there who keep complaining about the problem in the country, about the economy, unemployment, the terrible state of education, insecurity, unavailable healthcare, and all of that, you're very ungrateful. You're very, very ungrateful, because you don't know that you are lucky. In spite of all the challenges and the problems in this country, you are lucky. You're extremely lucky. Absolutely. All of you don't know that you're actually lucky. And in case you don't believe me, at least you should be able to believe the #1 citizen in the country, and I'm talking about Mr. President. Nigeria is still lucky despite challenges, and that's Buhari speaking. The President, Muhammadu Buhari, has stated that Nigeria is still a lucky country despite its challenges, and this was made known on Tuesday in a statement by the Special Advisor to the President on Media and Publicity, Femi Adesina, titled, "Despite our challenges, we're still a lucky country," says President Buhari. And the statement reads in part, quote, "We are a lucky country and should congratulate ourselves despite challenges that could have torn us apart," President Muhammadu Buhari has said. So right now, wherever you are, maybe you're still at work or at your place, whatever your place of business, or maybe you're in a taxi. Look to the person sitting next to you, shake them, congratulate them, and tell them how lucky they are to be a Nigerian at a time like this, when they're buying pound sterling for about 700 naira. Tell them how lucky they are to be around at a time like this, when parents in the north are afraid to send their children to school because there's a very, very good chance they are going to be kidnapped, and the government in their state will do absolutely nothing about it. I might even threaten to jail them if they decide to pay ransom for the release of their children. Tell your colleague at the office how lucky they are at this time. when healthcare is extremely just about not reachable for the average Nigerian, in a time when the president has a migraine or an ear pain, it jets out to the UK the very next second. Tell that person in the market, in the store next to you, how lucky they are. Congratulate them, because I don't know, they're lucky, I guess. Tell them how lucky they are. Senators passed this is a matter I would love to discuss sometime this week, hopefully. Senators passed the National Electoral Offences Commission bill. Now, the bill, if it's sent to by President Muhammadu Buhari, will investigate electoral offences and prosecute electoral offenders. Now, this is a very good thing, So the ballot box snatchers will be prosecuted and they'll go to jail. And hopefully the person who gave them money to go snatch the ballot boxes will also be prosecuted and go to jail as well. So it's a step in the right direction. Let's hope Mr. President will not wait until the eve of election and then tell us that, oh, it is too close to the election and there might be confusion afterwards. And that's why he won't sign it into law. Let's hope that doesn't happen. So I think I'll be wrapping up the side comments on that note. Many thanks for listening thus far. I'll go on a break now. When I return, we dive right into today's rant. The station, I'll be right back in a bit.
To thrive in a fast-changing world.
Tune in to 92.3 Nigeria Info for the best of news, talk and sports 24/7.
Are you running late and can't make it down to our Rumorsi office to book your commercials? Don't worry, because you can take advantage of our marketing office inside Port Harcourt to book your commercials. It is located at Shop 9 Mediatrix of All Graces Plaza, opposite FIRS Stadium Road, Port Harcourt. You can also call our sales rep on 0817 001 8162. That's 0817 001 8162. A clean surrounding is a collective effort.
Diseases could be avoided
with good hygiene practice. Be more responsible with how you dispose waste products. The environment will be better looking without litter and exposed garbage. We love our city clean. This message is from 92.3 Nigeria Info.
Information is a two-way thing. Nigeria Info, it's your turn. Let's talk.
And now, Hard Facts.
Hard Facts with Dayo.
Welcome back. At this Hard Fact 91.3 Nigeria Info in here in Port Harcourt and Dayo. I'd like to rant for just a bit. I've got something in my mind. I'd like to express some thoughts in it. And you're welcome to express your thoughts of mine all the way till 4 p.m. I think it was last week, or was it the week before? Not quite sure. Maybe last week. On at least 2 days, I think, on 2 separate days, I believe, I was asking security personnel in the country, I mean, who are listening to me in River State, beyond River State, all over the country. I was asking them why they're angry at Nigerians. Police officers, why they're angry at Nigerians, at civilians, those in the military, the army, the Air Force and Navy, why they're angry, why are they angry at civilians, NICDC and all the others, military, paramilitary, why are you angry at Nigerians? What sins, what offense did civilians in the country commit against you, such that your sleeping and waking thoughts is how you're going to steal from Nigerians, how you're going to pillage from Nigerians, how you're going to extort Nigerians, how you're going to rob them, how you're going to deal with them, how you're going to slap them, how you're going to beat them, how you're going to torture them, how you're going to deny them their rights, how you're going to frustrate them, how you're going to incarcerate them illegally. Why is that you're sleeping on? And I think I remember asking the CP here in River State, the versatile CP, Booker Friday, maybe he should prepare a form and send to his men in all the formations here in River State, asking them to fill the form. What a simple questionnaire. Why are you angry at civilians? They can write an essay on it, you know, maybe not longer than 500 words to explain. Because when you talk to the average security personnel, the police, for example, and ask them what the problem is, they talk about the challenges they're facing as security operatives, why they carry out some illegal acts, why they collect 50 naira and give number 3 along the East-West Road. I'm not sure they still do that right now, for some reason you might remember. And they say, oh, we fuel our vehicles ourselves. Oh, we buy uniforms ourselves. Oh, we buy the buttons on our uniforms ourselves. Oh, we buy our boots ourselves. We buy our caps. We buy our boxers ourselves. We buy pure water. We drink ourselves. We do everything ourselves. Fine. No doubt that's a problem. That's a huge challenge. But hold on. And I made the statement that Nigerians are not the ones who are holding back the money for your buttons. Civilians are not the ones who are holding the money for bullets, or the money for your boots, or the money for your uniform, or money for fuel, or money for your boxers, or money for pure water. The average Nigerian, the civilians out there, the masses, the ordinary Nigerians, are not the ones who are holding back these monies and making sure that you don't get it. The average Nigerian is not the one responsible for the horrible states in which your barracks are. The civilians, the masses, are not the ones that put you in that condition. So why are you venting your anger and your frustrations against these people who have done you absolutely no wrong? And even when they try to do something to correct the situation, you still beat them. You still kill some of them. It's very disturbing indeed, and something needs to be done about this horrific predicament in the country. Well, as you may have guessed, or especially if you're following this conversation on social media, on Facebook, possibly YouTube as well, you may have seen the poster. Yes, my comment so far is related to yet another unfortunate incident involving men of security apparatus in Nigeria. Here's a story from the Punch newspaper. 3 killed as military men clash with Lagos traders. Here's the story. A businessman identified only as Felix, aka Tiger, and 2 other yet to be identified traders have been shot dead by military officers during a clash with union members and traders at the Agui Ironsi International Trade Center in the Paramo area of Ladipo Market, Lagos State. A Punch Metro gathered from witnesses that a military officer and his orderly visited the market on Tuesday to change the spare part he bought from a trader. On their way out, some union members who were at the entrance of the market reportedly demanded payment of 200 naira from them for gate pass. It was learnt that the request infuriated the military men, and in the process an argument ensued between them and the union members. A source in the market told our correspondent that the union members allegedly beat the military man and his orderly, adding that the soldiers mobilized 3 other personnel who allegedly shot the victims to death. The trader said, quote, "What happened was that the military man came with his orderly in the morning to change a spare part that he bought from a trader in the market since last week. He came to change it because it did not work, but the military man did not wear his uniform when he came to the market. When he was leaving, the union boys at the entrance of the gate told him to pay 200 naira for gate pass. But because he refused to pay, it turned into a fight and the boys beat the military man and his orderly, so he went back to his base, returned with 3 other boys, and everywhere scattered as they started shooting. About 3 people had been killed. In fact, the trader Felix, whose shop is located on my line, was part of the people that were killed by stray bullets. Felix was carrying his goods into his shop during the fracas when a stray bullet hit him. We quickly rushed him to the hospital, but he died on the way. The incident happened around 1 p.m., but the military man came to the market around 9 a.m. Let's stop here for a while. There's a second part to this story. I'll get to that, but let's stop here for a bit. Obviously, it would be wrong for these traders or union union persons. I don't know if it's legal for them to demand 200 naira from anybody who is going in or out of the market, but to beat anybody up obviously cannot be right, whether they're military or not. So that's wrong. That cannot be right. So going with this version or with this account of the story, so even if that's what happened and then they beat you up, the solution to that cannot be to go to the base and get reinforcement to come back to the market to beat people up and shoot people or shoot at people. That is extremely irresponsible of these officers if this is the true account of what transpired. But you know what, that whilst I would not sit here and pretend to know exactly what transpired, the fact of the matter is I perceive that most Nigerians may not find this hard to believe, because it has been there is precedence. We have seen on several occasions where men in our armed forces have behaved in even more irresponsible ways compared to this particular scenario, where because a military man or somebody in the army or the military believes that because he has a uniform or he has access to firearms, he is superior to every other person, and if you provoke him, no matter how high or even low the provocation might be, he has the right to deal with you ruthlessly, because how dare you, bloody civilian, speak or address or treat a military man in such a manner. It's not hard to believe at all that that is what could have happened. So even if these union men acted in an improper way, the solution cannot be getting reinforcement coming back to shoot at people on the market, because how dare they, a military man. And I thought that the people in the military are supposed to be, I thought they said they were disciplined. That's what we're told, that discipline is a major watchword as far as their trainings and all of that is concerned. But it appears in Nigeria here, the word discipline does not come up when they're undergoing their trainings, because many of them behave highly irresponsibly, like they got absolutely no home training at all. But like I said, this is one version of the story. So let's assume that somebody made this up, and this so-called eyewitness is only trying to tarnish the do I say good image of the Nigerian military. Let's go to the second part of the story. Now, before I read the second part, unsurprisingly, no report that, oh, we're conducting an investigation, oh, we're trying to see what happened, oh, we did this, we're doing that. No, the default mode, and I wasn't surprised, the default mode when officers of any security agency in Nigeria misbehave or embarrass themselves, the default mode is to deny that it happened or concoct some story. But once again, bear in mind, I don't know what happened. But let's go with the version of the military. However, the Director of Public Relations and Information, Nigerian Air Force, Edward Gapquat, who gave another version of the story, said a soldier and a civilian friend were in the market for debt collection from a trader when a fight broke out between the soldier and the debtor. Now the question is, I'd like to stop there for a bit. Let's go with the version of Director of Public Relations and Information, Nigerian Air Force. Why did a soldier go with a civilian friend to go collect debt? It's like that soldier doesn't have anything doing. If he's so jobless and has so much free time, can't he apply to be sent to Sambisa Forest, or to apply to go to Niger State, or apply to go and deal with bandits in Kaduna State? If he has so much free time that he can go with his friend to collect debt at a market, he should simply apply to be sent to the northeast to combat Boko Haram, because he has a lot of time on his hands. But back to the story. Now this director said, quote, "It was a matter of self-defense. It was purely a domestic matter that went south. A soldier and a civilian friend went to the market for debt collection. Whether the debt was for the soldier or civilian, we don't know." So how did you know that they went for debt collection? So the person that told you the story that they went for debt collection did not tell you who was being owed. I mean, how is that possible? So, Mr. Director of Public Relations and Information, Nigerian Air Force, Edwards Gapquat, when the person was narrating the story to you that we went to collect debt, you didn't bother to ask who was being owed. Is it you, Mr. Civilian, or is it you, Mr. Soldier? Now, back to the story, back to his account. Whether the debt was for the soldier or civilian, we don't know. But in the process, a fight ensued between the soldier and the alleged debtor, and the debtor and other civilians pounced on the soldier. Now, once again, let's go with this version of the story. Why would the soldier engage somebody who is owing somebody money? In his uniform, you went to collect debt. Even if Mr. Soldier is the one that was being owed money, why would you engage that person in a fight? Somebody who is owing you money. Back to Director of Public Relations and Information's account. So, the friend of the soldier ran out to seek help and sighted a vehicle of the Operation Mesa and called their attention to the attack on the soldier. They ran to the scene of the incident, and when they got there, they were confronted by angry traders and civilians in the market who started throwing stones at them. I understood that they collected the rifle of the Air Force personnel under Operation Mesa and the same soldier who was under siege by the traders. So, this soldier who was fighting had a rifle. Listen to the account again. I understood that they collected the rifle of the Air Force personnel under Operation Mesa. That's the guys who just came. And the same soldier who was under siege by the traders snatched the rifle back. The one that they were beating. Initially, reportedly that was being beaten originally, was able to snatch. So these other guys, the new guys, the Operation Mesa guys who came, couldn't get their rifle back. It was Mr. Soldier who was being beaten originally who was able to snatch the rifle back. And the same soldier who was under siege by the traders snatched the rifle back and was running toward the Air Force people, but opened fire because he was under threat. He opened fire. It was an unfortunate situation. It wasn't as if it was the Air Force men that opened fire, but the rifle, which belongs to the Air Force personnel, has been retrieved. I understand 1 or 2 people died, but it is unconfirmed. Our base commander has been told to get to the root of the matter. I'll leave you to be the judge as to which of the stories or which of the accounts or versions seems more probable. You know, I wouldn't determine that. I would let you determine that for yourself. Which of the 2 accounts is more likely to have transpired? But none of these 2 scenarios, even if we're to go by Mr. Director of Public Relations and Information, Nigeria Air Force's account, none of these 2 scenarios paints them in a good light. None at all. Well, the question does arise for me. Why do we have to constantly hear scenarios or situations or accounts of this nature? Why? Why is it commonplace? Why is it not a surprising thing that there's some kind of a squabble somewhere and military officials open fire on civilians, killing some of them? Why do we hear that and we are not immediately shocked and wondering how could that have happened? It's impossible. And we're thinking, is this gossip? Is this fake news? No, it couldn't have happened. No, not the Nigerian military. Oh no, not them. Oh, they're so responsible. Oh, they're so disciplined. Oh, they're so well behaved. They could never have done a thing like that. Why aren't we thinking that? I'm not thinking that, by the way, and I have a hunch that you're not thinking that either. So something is fundamentally wrong. Fundamentally wrong. And it has to be dealt with. It has to be addressed. How that security personnel in this country consider themselves superior and have a license to torture, have a license to even kill a civilian at the slightest provocation. Believing, as our police officers constantly tell us, that nothing will happen. Nothing will happen. I will shoot you here now. I will kill you and nothing will happen. I've heard that said to me many times by our gallant officers here, even in River State. I've seen it. I've heard it said to other persons also. Something is fundamentally wrong. There needs to be a reorientation. There needs to be something has to give. We cannot continue this way. And finally, there's a wrap of this rant to our security men out and women out there. What sins did Nigerians commit against you? I ask the question once again. Why are you angry at us? We're not the one holding the money for your bullets, or the money for your buttons, or the money for your boxers. Why are you killing us? On that note, I end my rant. Thanks for listening. Hope I didn't bore you. Any thoughts on my let's lines are open now. 0817 923 0002, 0817 923 0003 or 0007. We're live on Facebook.com/Nigeria Info PH and YouTube as well. Search for Nigeria Info PH. WhatsApp is on 0809 030 6416. That's 0809 030 6416. I think I'll start with Facebook and Kingsley Ogidi goes, I'm waiting for those that supported the deployment of soldiers to secondary school to discipline students to call in. The military has no business demanding death or fighting with traders. Comrade Dabo Oji Braid goes, is that where the bandits and unknown gunmen are? Igwe Bricket Leonard goes, why will military men go into the market with their arsenal if not to kill innocent traders, leaving out the terrorists to continue their insurgency? To the phone lines now, I've got David from D-Line, underline. David, you're welcome. Please go on.
Yeah, good afternoon, Dayo.
Go ahead, David.
You're an unfortunate incident. The court has heard value that neither the police or any security agency is to debt recovery agency. They are not. That is not their primary, secondary, or even tertiary duty and responsibility. If they can't protect life, why don't you just honorably resign, tender your resignation, and leave service? It's very unfortunate. First of all, a report from the Nigerian Air Force is totally babbadash to me. It doesn't formulate a story, and to show how incoherent, inconsistent, unorganized their story is. You thank God you're able to even bring out the loopholes. That just shows that the type of situation we suffer in the hands of our security is here in Nigeria. We the civilians are simply at the mercy of this person. It's unfortunate.
Quite so, David. Michael from Democracy, you're welcome. Go ahead.
Hi, good evening.
Hello.
Hi. What would have happened if his colleague came in and settled the matter, even if their colleague was maybe beaten? Will their life change? Will anything happen to their family? Will they die? Will the world cause them? Tayo. Just because of one of their colleagues, and we are losing even more than 3 persons.
Reportedly 3.
Tayo, what is wrong with the uniform men in Nigeria? My God.
This is hard, no doubt. I mean, it is. I mean, it just leaves you pondering. I can imagine. Well, I am trying to access WhatsApp. I imagine I do have tons of messages right now. I'll work on that. Can someone please help me with the device? I'm having a problem. Oh, okay, great. It's come up right now. I think. Oh, has it? Okay, I think it has. Oh yeah, great. So WhatsApp is back on right now. Alright, so let's see, via WhatsApp, you need to see what this bandit SARS that is now anti-cultism is doing to boat drivers and their passengers on the road. There was stop a boat's driver, arrest the passenger, ask the boat driver to end the ride without payment. Our security personnel in Nigeria are known for the highest and most irresponsible behavior. You don't understand. This is how we do it here. These people don't care about anything. One thing they fail to understand is that we are wiser now. They should keep putting themselves instead of waking up to their responsibilities. Umar from Brumodara said that. I've got Reginald on the line. Reginald, you're welcome. Go on.
Thank you very much, Dario. Like you said, it is a fundamental problem and a foundational problem, I think, as well. This foundation has to do with the orientation that these people get right from when they are undergoing training, their training camp. You recall some time ago where these soldiers, fresh intake, blocked the highway, shouting they can't do anything. We deal with them. They were referring to civilians. So I think from that very camp, their superiors usually give them this orientation of civilians are nothing. You can deal with them the way you like. They are not the ones that pay you. The ones who pay you are the excellencies and honorables. And unfortunately so, and ironically, just like you were asking the question, are we the ones holding their welfare during the answers? We included them in the demand, but they were the ones who also turned their guns against people who were demanding for their welfare. So from that very point, they have this orientation, and that is why they tell you that if we shoot you now, nothing will happen. Because eventually they do that, their superiors also shield them. And they quickly come up with a media report or a press release denying it, allegedly. And those hoodlums were not our men. This attempt to blackmail the Nigerian that has capability in the whole world has failed. At most, they transfer them.
Reginald?
You have been calling out Devasata. Has he answered you?
Oh, I'm sure he's prepared. They're preparing a press statement for that. Reginald, great to hear from you, but I must move on right now. Via Facebook, Chimex goes, not surprised by our soldiers today, always found guilty, and Relish on Facebook goes, it's impossible to differentiate between the Boko Haram terrorists, killer Fulani herdsmen, and the Nigerian military. Back to WhatsApp right now. It's high time that intimidation and threats by the Nigerian military be checked. Do you remember how a former medical doctor was slapped here in Port Harcourt during the lockdown by an officer of the Air Force? I think the rank and file of the military should address this matter. That's from the Mrs. Achievers. Good day. What I know is a time will come when we will rise to address this matter in Nigeria. That's Samuel from Rumigwa. Good day. Thank God he didn't even say, no, it's not our men. The force men in Nigeria have a long way to go. Let them keep shooting us, no problem. That's excellent from Omagwa. Good afternoon, Di. Very unfortunate how we have found. Can you imagine 3 people shot dead extrajudicially by the Air Force? And the spokesperson has given this kind of inconsequential report. Our military is very quick in killing unarmed civilians, while bandits have taken over some parts of the country. This is the biggest height of incompetence by the so-called Air Force. Rhymes, I think, from Umwe Bule. To me, they should stop giving live ammunition to the Nigerian military, except and only for war times, because most of those that carry those rifles are not educated, so they use it at will. Thanks, Emeka from Igruta. We're very lucky to have these kinds of gallant military men in our lucky country. That's MD from Borokiri. Good afternoon, they should have settled the matter instead of killing unarmed civilians like the fella Palance, leaving sorrow, tears, and blood behind. Please let us get the facts right. What I know is that the military personnel cannot just go to the barracks just like that to go and bring arms. I'm very sure of that. That's Idowu from Boni. Right, though, I hope you're correct. I very much hope you're correct. I hope that indeed that is the kind of military that we have in Nigeria. Ido, I hope you're correct. But Ido, I hope you also remember the incident in Lagos. At least not just Lagos, but definitely on more than one occasion, when even the police and officers of the Nigeria police force and the Nigerian military engaged themselves in a free-for-all, where even soldiers went into their barracks to get reinforcement to beat up police officers. And Ido from Bonny, do you remember that? Because you just said that you know that military personnel cannot just go to the barracks to do that. So if they could do that to attack officers from another security agency, the police, you seriously believe, Ido from Bonny, that they can do that to civilians? That's remarkable. Also via WhatsApp, a military man registered his car and gave it to my friend to drive Uber services in PH, and he monitors where he drives. Part of the agreement was never to drive outside River State or the car will be withdrawn. Unfortunately, he went to Owerri and the military man saw it from his map. He carried a battalion of soldiers to arrest, beat and torture this my friend. I was angry because the agreement was to withdraw the car from him. Why torturing him? And of course, nothing happened other than my friend receiving pain from the beating, like Coffee Battalions with SARS. That's from Michael Newmont. If the guns were snatched from the Air Force personnel by the traders, what did the traders do with the guns before the guns were snatched back? As from Bob. Apparently, the traders were admiring it. The traders were admiring the gun. That's why the Mr. Soldier was being beaten was able to snatch the gun back. I'd like to read that again. If the gun was snatched from the Air Force personnel by the traders, what did the traders do with the gun before the gun was snatched back? Once again, a reminder that the gun was snatched back reportedly by Mr. Soldier, who was being bitten, or who had been bitten. It's just remarkable stuff. We've got humongous problems in the country, really. But don't worry. Count yourself lucky. Consider yourself lucky to be here at a time such as this. This Mr. President did say that a while ago. I think I read that story at the start of today's show during my side comments. Consider yourself lucky. Consider yourself lucky in spite of the challenges, in spite of the fact that security operatives can shoot you or beat you up or even kill you, and with the belief that nothing will happen. Consider yourself lucky. Consider yourself lucky. Even though the police will, some police who claim to be IG monitoring units will stop you somewhere and tell you that you must produce your tinted permit and medical report for the tinted permit. Consider yourself lucky, and if you don't, they threaten to take you to station and to deal with you, or else you must pay money so that they can help you. Consider yourself lucky. You are very, very lucky. In fact, of all the human beings on earth, you are the luckiest. You are the luckiest. It doesn't matter. Don't think about those human beings in countries where they get free quality health care. No, they are not as lucky as you are. You're very lucky. Don't think about those places where security men don't beat their civilians, where when civilians see their military, they are happy. There's joy in their hearts. They respect them. They stand up in buses for them to sit on. They let them jump the queue and go to the front in banks or anywhere else for that matter. You're not as lucky as they are. You are lucky. They are not lucky over there. They are not lucky. They are definitely not lucky. Just about 4 o'clock. We've got business news coming up top of the hour at 4. After that, Canvas and Adedayo Roundtable comes up shortly. Brought to you by SPDC, of course. Stay tuned. I'll be right back in a bit.